Welcome to Bellies R Us. No, I'm
Billy, I'm trying to suck that motherfucker.
It's the process, the process, the process. Yeah, welcome to the process, player. You gotta trust the process, player. The process, the process. Welcome to the process, player. I say you gotta trust the. Cue the interview. I got some shit to say.
Hey, welcome to the process. I'm your host, Q the Interview. I have a very successful comedian here today. Somebody that I admire. Somebody who brings real funny.
Come on, man.
Somebody who is not just trying to script the joke.
Come on, man.
But let it flow.
Tell it.
You know what I'm saying?
Tell it.
If I was at the spade table or the domino table,
let him use you.
Come on with it. Or just sitting on the back of the truck telling jokes. Man.
Yeah.
A good friend, a brother.
Yes.
No one other than Derrick King, man. Thank you for
Dog. Come on, man. Come on, I got that Club Shay Shay interview. Come on, I mean, because that what you did, that intro. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Forget Shannon Sharp.
Oh man, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, he doing a good thing.
You know he doing a good thing. But hey, look here, I'm over here with Q.
Yeah, you over here with Q the Interview, man.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to be here, man. I got to see a comedy show today.
Yeah.
It was great. But me, you go way back.
We do.
I got a beef with you.
Long time.
I do got a beef with you.
Okay.
When I introduced myself to you, I said my name is Sean.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the hell you got
Lil Sean
from.
Hey, man.
Hey, bro. I ain't no Lil Sean.
Wow.
Dog.
Wow.
Huh?
I'm telling you, it's wow. It's Lil Sean. Hey, man, it's Lil Sean.
Now, take the lid off of it.
Yeah, I can't.
Take the lid off of it.
That's Walter's doing.
That's what I'm doing.
Hey, I'm blaming that 100% on Walter.
Hey, every time I hear Lil Sean, I don't even want you big me, but it's take the lid off. You know what I'm saying?
I really think Walter got me with that. Like back in the days of 24-hour fitness.
Hey, you held on to it.
I did.
They got called you like, what's up, Lil Sean? I said,
Hey, and I don't like saying Quincy.
hey, Q.
I don't like saying Q.
Man, not Lil Sean.
I like saying Lil Sean.
Bro, I said, no, I need to keep calling you Lil Sean, bro.
When you show up to say Quincy Moulton in my phone.
I would appreciate it, man.
But it's Lil Sean.
Okay.
I know Quincy Moulton. It's right. My bad, dog.
Hey, man.
It felt right.
It did.
I lost the time.
Let it go.
Sean.
Nah, Q. I'm Q, man.
All right, I go with
man.
Q.
Hey, but it's,
after the night, I'm gonna be done.
All right, cool. Okay. Let's talk about. Hey, you're a successful comedian, right?
Yeah.
You always been a comedian.
Yes, and I'll tell you, when you say successful, a lot of people go, they may be watching, go, I ain't never seen him. Okay. I don't let other people determine my level of success.
Okay.
And I think so many people fall short because they allow others to determine what success is for them. Okay. Success for me is being able to take care of my family on what I make in comedy. If I could make this instead of going to a regular job and making it, I'll take this any day of the week. Yeah. I literally work this weekend. I work 45 minutes total on the stage, and I'll take home $5,000.
Oh, okay.
We're just talking working 45 minutes. Now, I don't know no job you can go to and make that.
Well, what about on the corner?
Well, you could, but then you take them chances too. And I'm not saying that to put out finances. What I'm saying is a lot of people go, well, we don't know him. Well, that's fine. Keep watching. You'll get to know.
Keep watching.
You'll get to know.
Where are you from?
TK.
Hey, TK.
Texarkana, baby.
Texas out of Arkansas.
I knew you were going to say that, man. I rep the whole city. I rep the whole city. I'm from that A, man. I'm from that A, man. And even though I graduated from Texas high school on the Texas side, all of my schooling years up until my senior year was done in Arkansas. Okay. So I'm Arkansas, baby.
Okay, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I really rock with Texarkana.
You do. You got a lot of frat brothers from Texarkana.
No, I have a lot of brothers from Texarkana.
Come on.
Walter, Ken, Derrick.
Come on.
Pat.
Come on.
Jason.
Come on.
Rashad.
Come on.
Josh Keaton.
Yeah. Glenn. Glenn Kayser. That's my little cousin.
Bowflex.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yes. A lot of good men come from Texarkana, man. I really rock with them. So I want to shout out TK. I wasn't a part of TK Club and PV.
Yeah. Come on, PZ. You know,
Everybody from Taylor County, man, I really rock with them. So
we were bred a different way. It's a grind out type of city.
Mhm.
It's a city where you can get pulled back, sucked in,
okay,
and all of those guys know all too well if you don't get out of that city, it'll suck you in and it'll pull you under. And so we try to support each other when we out here doing our endeavors in the world.
Okay. Your microphone's looking good.
Yeah. Joker's still there.
Cool. So check this out. So you told me, I called you about the interview.
Yeah.
And you said, hey, I'm gonna be right here.
Yeah.
And I said, I have never done it. I had to have that whole setup, so I had to figure it out.
Well, the thing was, you said, hey man, if you're gonna be in town on a Saturday, usually when I'm here, I'm with my son.
Right.
I'm with Caleb, and I try to give him all that time. But since I knew I was working tonight, I was like, why don't you pull up at the job?
I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. We are the Smart Financial Center, man. The Big and Tall comedy tour. A lot of black people don't know. You know what's funny about this tour? So the guy that I'm touring with is Asian, Jimmy O Yang.
Yeah.
Tell you how ignorant some of these people in Texarkana are, man. These black people. This is a Chinese dude. They go, hey, so let me ask you something. You got to learn that Chinese shit while you out there with him. Nigga, are you serious?
Yeah, are you serious?
Yeah, man. I just want to know if you got to speak Chinese. Do they understand what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yes, they understand what I'm saying. So they speak American. You mean English, nigga? So hey, some of them just so back, they ain't never been nowhere. They don't know nothing. So this is different for them.
Okay, so let's talk about your history from Texarkana.
Yeah.
What got you here? Your foundation.
Prairie View. Where my foundation comes from. Growing up in the church. My father, my mother. I wanted to be like my daddy. He's a public speaker. Yes. God rest his soul. But he did it in the church. Okay. And I used to want to talk, but I didn't want to preach. Oh, gotcha. So what I would do after services, I would mimic everything that went on. And these older women, Sister Catherine, Sister Cooper, Sister Martin, and Sister Rollins. Okay. Man, they would sit up there at that church and watch me after church mimic the whole. Oh, brother, that was my first comedy audience. Your audience. 4 older women, make them laugh. Okay. And they just sit there. They knew something the rest of the church didn't know. The rest of the church knew I was funny, but they didn't know I'd sit there and man, those older women, those were my babies. I used to walk Sister Rollins home all the time, but that was my foundation. And then getting a scholarship to go to Prairie View. Okay. That also helped because Celie Turner, I was a Gilpin player. Okay. You know anything about PV down there? They got the Gilpin players down there at Hobart Hall. Right. And so Celie Turner told me that I was going to be a comedian, and I believed him. Okay. I'm gonna tell you a funny story about that. Come on. It was freshman year, 1998, September 98. Prairie View had lost 89, 90 games straight. The football team. Yes. We sorry. Just sorry. All trash. 1998. And so Celie Turner, they did this thing called New Faces at Prairie View, where they would showcase all the new talent around an upperclassman play. And Celie Turner, man, God rest his soul, he's gone now. I didn't like that man. He was hard on me.
Mr. Turner.
Mm-hmm.
I was a drummer major.
Yeah.
You know that, yeah.
No, by that time I was already out of there. Okay. I mean, I did not like him. Okay. And Steve Lee, man, he was hard on me, dog.
He was hard.
And that man, he gave me a scholarship, but get ready to drop classes.
For sure.
Man, he let 14 other kids sign. He signed their drop slip, and I walked in there with mine. And when I walked in, this is how I knew I was going to do comedy. When I walked in there with my drop slip, Celie Turner said, "Shonda, close that door and get me Derrick King's father's information." We in college, bro. I said, whoa.
Don't call my dad.
Dog, I said, I'm grown. You can't do that. He said, no, I'm calling your father. And man, this is what let my daddy know that I had some talent. And it really let me know. And it's got me to where I'm at today. So I really thank Celie Turner. When that man called my daddy, man, you talk about your heart just sitting over there watching this man tell your daddy how great you are. He ain't never told your ass that you was great. Right. But he's sitting there telling my daddy, if he stick with it, he could be something. Okay. Man, and the worst thing I ever heard that day, my daddy said, let me talk to him. I said, ooh, Jesus. Man, when I got that phone, my daddy was like, son, no professor calls home for nobody in college. Right. He said, that man sees something in you, and I tell you what, you want to drop, that's fine. but you coming right home right now. You come home, you going to Cooper Tire, you going to work. He said, now, if you going to stay up there, you going to stay in that class. And don't let me hear this man have to call me no more. And I'm sitting here looking at Celie Turner. He's smiling. And I'm sitting here like, nigga, ain't nothing to smile about. My daddy chewing my ass out right now. And I'm thinking I'm grown.
Right.
But man, Celie saw something in me. And I gave him that phone back. And he ripped up that drop slip. And here we are today.
Okay.
All because he believed in me, man. He told me I was going to do stand-up comedy.
Okay. What has been your biggest hill that you had to climb in the, I mean, life it has a lot of roller coasters.
Yeah.
What about comedy?
The biggest hurdle that I had to get over is believing that my friends and family were going to be the ones to support me.
Okay.
What I mean by that is they do support you. It's in a different way. I just rocked the 3,800, 4,000 people out there.
You did.
Don't none of them know me.
They don't know who you are. You did a good job.
Don't none of them know. And so what I'm saying is, man, your friends and family, they support you. They're gonna say, man, that's my cousin, that's my homeboy. But you cannot realistically expect for them to buy a ticket every time. I got a show all the time. I think they're gonna show up every time. It's not realistic. So that the hurdle was me getting over that their support looks different. And if I really wanted to build something, I had to build a fan base.
Okay.
I needed people that don't know me, that really, man, all of us support people that we don't know.
That's true.
And so to get that out of your head, that the people that know you, they're not buying tickets like that. They want free tickets.
Okay. So also, this is a new age of comedy.
Oh yeah.
We used to have the Red Fox,
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy.
That's right. You had Red Fox.
He did.
Yeah, Eddie Murphy too. I can do all
I
that.
got you. So now it's a new age to where it's internet comedians come.
Bring that ass here. You got all them, man.
So, and I know that you are for real funny, and I've seen you. How, and I'm not knocking those
Understood.
at all.
Understood.
How are you different from the internet comedians versus the stand-up comedians? Or is there a difference?
There is a difference.
Okay.
I'm a true, pure stand-up comedian, which means, man, I can stand flat-footed on that stage and just tell jokes. There is no editing whenever you're on that stage. You have to edit in real time and in your mind but when you're doing it behind the scenes, like, yo, you take this camera and, man, I can shoot it 48 times and the audience will never know the difference.
Right.
When you're on that stage, they know right then and there whether you're good or not. And so those guys, man, they jumped the line, and I'm behind the times with that because when Def Jam was out, thought I was gonna be on Def Jam, dog. Yeah, hell, I went to the last taping that they did. I went out there with Ali Sadiq.
Okay.
Ali taught me comedy. Let's get that understood. Ali taught me comedy, and so he went out there. He did that. That was the year that Patrice O'Neal was on there. That was the year that D.L. Hughley hosted. That's when Tiffany Haddish did the whole tournament. I was there for all of it, man. And so I was standing at that door waiting on that door to open for me. And then this thing called the internet came along. Well, I wasn't familiar with that. We didn't grow up on that. So I didn't care about the internet. I was preparing for my 7-minute Def Comedy Jam set, or at least a Comic View set, something.
Right.
And that opportunity never came because that medium was gone. I didn't know that. Well, these new guys were coming along with Vine and all this, and they could do 16, 17-second videos, but their audience was the world. I thought somebody was going to give me my audience. Like those older comics, they were given an audience, and people watched. These newer comics, they went out and gained their own audience.
Right.
There's the difference. They have fans because they've been watching them online. So when you go see them live, even if they don't deliver, you still win a song. They can fill up stadiums and arenas. And my black ass is struggling to get the clubs filled up. And so it's not their fault. It's my fault for not being with the times and going and moving along. I was in the past. And boy, you stay your ass in the past, that's exactly where you'll be stuck at. You'll be stuck back there. So they're not funnier. They just they use the elevator while I was taking the stairs. So I'm not mad at them. Who can be mad at somebody that got on the damn elevator and I walked to the top and I'm huffing and puffing? They like, damn, the drink's good, man. What you doing? I just got here. But it was just the times. And so whether you know it or not, I write for some of those guys.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. I'll show it to you on my phone when we get done. And I don't ever want to disclose all the time on camera who I write for because they may not want people to know. You
How
know,
do you really write jokes?
what you do is you listen to people.
Okay.
You listen. What I do is I got somebody that's on. Damn, how do I
So
say
you
it?
saying just like I saw Eddie Murphy Dolomite when he went into the
That's right.
and he basically had recorded, went back and wrote.
Yes,
That's a real thing.
it is a real thing. Eddie Murphy's Delirious and Raw. When you look at it, it doesn't say that Eddie Murphy wrote it all by himself. It was Robert Townsend. It was Keenan Ivory Wayans. It was Paul Mooney. Those guys assisted him. Nobody goes anywhere in this business alone. It's a now.
How do you do the delivery though? Cause you got
I write in their voice. You see, I did the Red Box thing because I play their voice over in my head. I can mimic you. If I'm around you for a while, I can mimic you. I'd like to think that if I were trying to be, you see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Or, dear God, things have been great.
Oh.
Come on, man. I these characters, I embody these characters. And if I was really out there and my wife was going to be running for president, I embody these characters. And so it's really, that's right. So it's easy for me to write in your voice because I hear it in my head. I'm very weird like that. That's just something a lot of people don't know about me, but it's a skill that God gave to me.
Okay, he did. Because when I called you today to find out what I need to, and I know I said, I'm calling there, but he got an assistant.
Nah,
and I was like, this not him.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm gonna go where I need to be. So I'm talking to your assistant, but I like, damn,
it's me.
I think that was him.
I change my voice from time to time. It's just something that God has gifted me with, and I've been doing it since I was a kid. Okay. Not knowing that this would, and I don't even, I hardly ever do it on stage. You listen, all these voices I can do back here, I can do that easily on stage. But I see so many other comics do it, and I don't want anybody to think that I'm copying anybody. See, I'm an original. I ain't no copy. I'm an original. Yeah. Some of your greatest comics, I write for them. There was a special, I won't say which one, but there was a special that was on Netflix. It won New York. It was the New York Times Comedy of the Year. I wrote most of it. Okay.
That's good, man. I ain't know none of this even exists.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about it. So a lot of times people say I'm a struggling comic.
Oh yeah.
How do you make sure that the money keep coming in? Then how do you do that?
I got shows lined up all the way this year through October. I know that I'm working through October, but in doing that, it is relationship building. And then you treat this like a business. They'll tell you when you get with somebody good in this business, they'll say, show is the short word, business is a long word. You better understand business while you're doing this. So when I know that I tour with Jimmy at least once a month.
Okay.
So I know throughout the year, I'm gonna make 60 with Jimmy.
Okay.
That's just Jimmy. Then if I'm with Faison Love, shoot, I can probably count at least another 20 on that. Okay. Then what I'm doing on my own, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I look at it that way. So in totality, money can come fast in this business and then it can come really slow. You better make sure that you're doing the right thing with your bread. Because you can get $20,000 in a month. And you go 2-3 months and you ain't got nothing. Okay. So you might want to make that 20 stretch. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
because I ain't over here trying to be like, man, I balled out this money, and then hey Q, I'm gonna need to buy $30. Payday, nigga. I don't know what my next show is.
So, how do you balance that with your son?
That's difficult. It is difficult, and I have a son with special needs, and let me say this. Let me say it like this to get it all the way understood. My ex-wife is the perfect ex-wife. And what I mean by that is she's a great mother to our son. Okay. She's a great mother. Yes, she wants me to have that boy whenever I can. And when I can, and then let me say this. When you date a woman, you want to date a woman that encourages you, no matter how busy you are and how much time she want with you. Hey, when the last time you been to see your son? Get your ass up to Houston. And I mean that. And so this life, man, I work on the weekend. My son, that's when you out of school is on the weekend. Right. Well, how I'm gonna see you if I'm always working? You know what I'm saying? And so when I have time, man, I try to make sure I get up here at least once a month. And I try to do my schedule. You ask how I keep the money coming in. I try to do my schedule to where I'm at least booked in Houston once a month.
Okay.
That way, at least while I'm here, man, I get a chance to see him.
Okay. So
You
like,
know?
you know, I'm big on fatherhood, you know, being a part. Your dad is that
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. No,
And you
100%.
being a father and the importance of being around your kid, because you know kids are going through different challenges. I
That's
remember,
right.
you know, he's in a wheelchair sometimes. Now,
That's right. He's in a motorized chair, and he can actually walk, but it's with assistance. You know.
Right.
Mhm.
How do you give him that motivation, that encouragement? If you know, say he's kind of like back and forth.
How to handle that?
How do you handle that? You as a father.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. God gave Caleb that lot.
Okay.
That's Caleb's lot, and yeah, it's a challenge for me. But I'm gonna tell you how I handle it. As a man, I know that my ex-wife, had to deal with that. She deals with it way more than I do.
Okay.
So who am I to complain
Okay.
about the 1 week out of like I had Caleb for spring break? Man, let me tell you something. It was a challenge. My back hurt right now. Like I got to pick this boy up. Well, who doing it when I'm not there? So when you ask how do I handle it, with grace. God, listen, man. I know people, and I gave Caleb back to God a long time ago.
Like David, not David. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, no. I know people that their child, they only had 3 days with them, and God took them home. I know people that their children was gone after 2 years, 6 years, and I was, you want to know what's funny? I was in this building the day I found out he had muscular dystrophy.
Right.
It was Monday, March the 12th, 2018. I did this show. They had the whole thing open, 7,000 people. I was on Eddie B's Teachers Only Comedy Tour. And my ex-wife, Stacy, texted me. She also went to Prairie View. Stacy texted me and said, hey, call me when you get done. And I called her, man. I was walking out that back door whenever she told me. This very building, when she said he has Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, I didn't know what it meant. But I found out, like, and it's for all intents and purposes, when you look this up, it's almost a death sentence, man. Caleb knows that. And I think one of the toughest things was to see my son in his room back in Texarkana at my place, where he was Googling how to beat it. I'm strong because he's strong, bro.
Right.
That little boy is strong. He much stronger than I could ever be. And so Caleb is the way I handle it, man, is through prayer and through just understanding that, man, his mama's strong. And so I got to be strong too.
Hey, man, well, keep going, man. Keep going.
Yeah.
So very supportive of you and your family.
Hey, you hit me whenever you called me too. Whenever you asked me that, I said, "Whoa, nobody's ever asked me that."
Recently, I called you. I DM'd you because I seen you open for Eddie Levert.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I say, man, that's amazing.
Oh man.
Even though, like, you know, he's older,
He's
than
up in years.
but he's a legend.
Super legend.
And so, you know, I'm like, wow, man, it's great to see you in that space.
Cause you remember the beginning.
I remember the beginning.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I remember when y'all was over there in Cyprus.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
So
back in 2009, 2008, 2009. That's right.
Yeah. So, and I know who your daddy is. I never met him, but I know what he meant to you.
Oh, 100%.
So I asked you, what do you think your dad would say?
Boy, you put a smile on my face when you asked me that, because it's I'm a daddy's boy. I love my daddy.
I know.
And so the reason that week with Caleb learning that he had muscular dystrophy, the reason that week is so memorable to me is because that Monday, my father had surgery, a successful surgery. He had an ablation done. He was in AFib. And then that night, I find out that Caleb has muscular dystrophy. God had awakened me at 4:44 in the morning on that Sunday night going into Monday. And then he also awakened me on that Monday night going into Tuesday. Both times he woke me up at 4:44 in the morning. And I'll never forget, the second time I woke up, I said, God, what do you want? I've never done that when I woke up, man. But looking at the clock, you see those numbers in sequential order. What are you trying to tell me? And it's right hand of God, man. God said, go to Philippians. And I was like, 4:44? It wasn't no 4:44. My dumb ass. My dumb ass was like, "Nah, ain't no 4." But it was go to Philippians 4:4. Now, that was that Monday night, Tuesday morning. And I got up and I went to Philippians 4:4, and it says, rejoice in the Lord always. And again, I say rejoice. Now, God, listen here. I don't know what he do for nobody else, but he told me to do that. I thought he was talking about for my son. See, that scripture starts off with rejoice. Excuse me. Re means to do something again.
Right.
That means you once had joy.
Right.
Find it again.
Oh.
Then God says, rejoice in the Lord always. He didn't say when you're up.
Always.
Because we're going to be up and down.
Man.
In the scripture, after he already told you to rejoice, he knows that you're about to go through something. He says, and again,
come on,
I say rejoice. Now, Q, I didn't understand what that meant at the moment.
Okay.
I thought that was about my baby.
Right.
Little did I know, 2 days later, my father would suffer a fatal stroke. And by that Saturday, he was gone. Right. Man, let me tell you something. I've always told people how good God is, but that's usually when I'm up.
Right.
How about when you're in the valley? Is he still good? God is not just a mountaintop God. Man, he's with you when you walk through the valley. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Yeah. And so when you ask me, what do I think my father, I think he's proud of me. I think that my father understands that I'm just a man, right, and I'm going to make plenty of mistakes. Mm-hmm. But when you train up a child in the way he should go, when he gets old, he will not depart. I think he's proud of the fact that, man, I trust God and I know who God is to me. So, when I give people that medicine, hey, man, just pray about it. I got to take it too. I got to take it too.
Yes, that's
a lot of times it's easy for people to tell you to take that medicine. But you saw me before the show started. What was I doing?
Yeah.
Praying. And then what did you do? That's what I'm saying. And then you came and prayed with me.
And you didn't ask me to.
You just prayed with me.
Yeah.
And so when people see you living a certain way, man, people see, oh, he blessed. How you get that? I gave a comedian, she's really funny. I gave her my secret, and I'll share it with y'all. Prayer. That's the secret to success, prayer. Because before I go out there, I always say, God, give me what you want me to say. A lot of times people are like, but you talking about sex and all that. Lord invented sex, and it's good.
Very good.
And it's real good. I just hate that you got to get married to get it. So I be test driving. And so, but Father, forgive me, But I mean, I think he's really proud of the man that I am. And I think he's proud of my efforts.
Gotcha. I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Like, man.
Thank
also,
you.
man,
Thank you.
I, not just saying on your father too long, I remember you, to me, your most happiest times on social media, it was at the domino table with
my daddy.
With your dad and the uncles.
That's right. With my daddies and my uncles. Yeah, man.
I always remember you always showed that.
Yeah.
And I remember when that happened, and that affected me, because I was just like, man, that's the joy, rejoice. That was the joy that I was like, man, it's a hard pill to swallow, man. But yeah.
You want to know why I showed that? We don't talk about it enough in our community. I suffer from depression.
Okay.
I was going through depression. I was really down on myself. But I'm gonna tell you, this is, and I'm joking, but I'm for real. I was in the middle of depression, man, and I looked good. This is one of my best looking times in life. I remember there's a photo of me, and I went, "Damn, boy, you look good." I remember that day. I was depressed like a mug. I sat in a parking lot. People don't know this, man. I sat in Hobo Jungle parking lot. It is now renamed Irma Dansby Pondexter Sports Complex. I sat in that parking lot with my daddy's gun one night. Didn't tell anybody where I was at. Cried, sitting in that parking lot. I wanted to end my life. And I'll never forget, my father called my phone and he said, "Derrick, come home." Man, listen here. The man didn't know where I was at. He didn't know what I was dealing with. He didn't know what I was going through. But he called at the right, come home. I'm sitting there, went home. My father knew that I was in the midst of depression. And being in the midst of depression, this is when I learned black folks ain't got no business working in customer service. We have no business working in customer. Oh my God! Listen, I knew something was wrong. I left Bible study one night. Got on Interstate 30, leaving out of Nash, going back to the Arkansas side in Texarkana. And I didn't want to tell anybody that something was wrong. I thought that if I called a friend or something, they would make fun of me or, you tripping. You know, old black men, their favorite thing to say is, oh, you just need a little ass. You know, that's old black men for you. You must be broke. Oh, you get your money, get some ass, you can be just fine. You'll survive. That wasn't what I needed, man. And so I called the suicide hotline. I looked up the number, Googled the number, I called. And when I called suicide hotline, a black woman on the phone was like, thanks for calling suicide hotline, hold please. I'm like, hold? Hey, this is true story, dog. She put me on hold. I was on hold so long, I forgot why I was mad at me. I started getting mad at her. When she came back, she was like, thanks for holding. How can I help you? I said, hey. And I remember cussing at her. I said, hey, what's the supervisor? She said, where your gun?
Oh.
She said, but you ain't kill yourself. I mean, talk to me. What's going on?
Like for real?
That is true story. I never get hung up on her. I hung up on that girl. That's why I said, they ain't got no business working customer service. That girl, I said, where your supervisor? She said, where your gun? Never forget it. So I went home. I was staying with my parents at the time. My mom has all, you go to your parents' house, I mean, they got medicine everywhere.
Yeah.
My mama got 1 million pills up there, and I took a bunch of them, put them in my hand, went downstairs to my room, put the pills on the nightstand, and I started praying, but I started cussing while I was praying. And I stopped praying. I didn't end the prayer, I just stopped because I said, that's no way to talk to God. And I walked in that living room, and my father was sitting at his desk as he always was. And I laid in his lap. Bro, I'm a grown man. I'm like 32, 33 years old. I laid in that man's lap and started cussing and crying and said, just effing pray for me. And what my father started doing, the reason I started showing the dominoes, Daddy told me that depression was a dark spirit. And the only thing that cures darkness is light. Dominoes was his light. See, he had been there before. So it became my light. For a while, most people don't know, I just used to go over there just to sit around them and be amongst men. Just men that work their whole life, man. And so that was a proud time for me because that helped me come up out of my depression. Though playing dominoes was my light, man. Hanging out with my daddy, that was my light, man.
So what's your light now?
For the good times. I just remember the good times, man. And my light is comedy. I'm doing what God called me to do. I thought I was called to preach. I actually accepted my calling from God. And when I accepted the calling, God gave me more in comedy. He was telling me, I didn't tell you to get in that church in that pulpit. I've given you a pulpit. I've given you a congregation. Now go talk to them. That's my light, man. My job, my duty is my light.
So, not to hold you too long, but what would you say to a person right now? This is the process. You still recording? Oh,
yeah, we still good. Your production team is great.
Hey, man, we watching that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
What advice would you give to an up and coming comedian or somebody who want to get into your space?
I'll give them the same advice that Joe Torre gave me when he came to Prairie View. Do universal comedy.
What's that?
Universal comedy. Did you see them people I talked to tonight?
They look like.
It was the 3,500 age, mostly white people, and then what I said, 7 black people.
Yeah, about 7.
7 black people,
including me.
You hear me?
Yeah.
So when Joe Torre told me to do universal comedy, I did not understand what that meant. But it means do comedy where your jokes, you talk to the world. Okay. You're not just talking to black people. You're not just talking to white people. You can talk to anybody with your jokes and that's how I learned. Now, little did I know, years later, Joe Torre will become one of my great friends. He will become, and man, when I moved to LA, and I asked him, I was like, hey, I want to move. This when I was in Prairie View with Mr. Turner. I want to go to LA. What should I do? He said, well, bring your Bible and call me. That man didn't know me from nothing. He said, bring your Bible and call me.
Okay. And
I did. And 2 years ago, man, me and Joe, we hanging out in LA. And he said, let's go bowling. So we went bowling. Terrell Owens showed up.
Oh, yeah.
Man, so many stars start showing. And I'm just in here like, damn, I'm bowling with T.O.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't hit a strike, T.O. Dumb. I'm like, I'm trying to be cool. And I'm a 49er fan, so oh my God, boy, you talking about it's just I would tell them to do universal comedy, man. That's the advice that I got, and it worked for me. Find what works for you. Find your voice. I know who I am, and I don't worry about anybody telling me or trying to tell me who I am. I know who I am. And it takes a while to discover yourself, man.
Okay.
It takes a while to discover yourself.
I want to thank you for this opportunity. I didn't know what I was going to do.
You did great. And
I didn't know what I was going to do.
And let me tell you, respect, because you said, hey man, correct me. And there's nothing to correct.
Okay.
When you know your subjects, it's easy. You know me. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And so because you know me, that's just like, Shannon Sharp looks like a genius because he's got a great team. They go out there and get the information. They bring it back to him. He studies information. You unknowingly have been studying me for years.
It's true. It's true.
So you don't have to what I'm gonna think of. No, hell no. You know me.
Right.
So you know what to say. So I would just say, know your subjects. Know the people that you're interviewing. And that makes for a great interview because this interview, I don't know what nobody else saw, but it's a conversation.
Right.
Just a conversation between two friends.
It is.
You know what I mean? Just picking each other's brains. That's it.
Okay.
So you were great.
Well, I want to thank you, Derrick, for giving me the opportunity. It has been a great situation.
Yeah,
and
man.
last thing, man. I always wanted to be a comedian.
All right.
I went to Prairie View.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was gonna be in drama because I was gonna be on this.
Yeah, come on. Yeah.
So being out there on the stage,
mm-hmm.
I was like, wow, okay. I don't know if that's God, my calling or nothing, but you gave me the opportunity just to see it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I was so keen in being on time.
So
I don't miss this opportunity.
I'm a stickler for time, and I sure forgot that boy called me too after I listened, and I sure hate it. Hey man, my cousin sent his cousin up here. Well, I just thought about it. Sorry about that. If you see this interview, man, I told him what time the show started.
Right.
And I only got a ticket for him.
Right.
When he got up there, he called me right as I was getting ready to walk on stage, and I was like, "Hello."
I remember that was here.
Yeah, and he was like, man, I got somebody with me." No, when I talked to you earlier, I said it was just you.
Right.
I said I got you a ticket. I'll see you. Man, you brought somebody else. I can't. You told me you'd bring me. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, I can't do nothing about that. My bad, brother.
Got you. So again, thank you, Derrick, for
thank you.
How can people tap in with you?
Oh, this is another thing. So now, Derrick Keener is my name.
Right.
What you'll start seeing is I'm rebranding, and I branched out to Derrick King. That's right. And so and I'm partnered with Tasha K.
Okay.
That's a great partnership that I have. And she's very controversial, but I'll say this right here. She's sweet, she's honest, she's thoughtful, she's caring, and she's my friend.
Okay.
And so she's rebranding or assisting me with a rebrand. So you can always find me on my Derrick Keener social media pages or on my Derrick King. It's Derrick _King TK. Okay. And the TK stands for Texas and Tosh K. Yeah, I put a little mix on that thing, man. So yeah.
And once again, this is Q the interview, and thank you for being a part of my show. This is The Process.
Yeah.